Wisconsin Broadcasters Association Hall of Famer Bob Berry ruled Milwaukee's airwaves in the 60s and 70s. He spoke with countless musicians and celebrities over the years. Bob collected remarkable recordings of these encounters, which he's now sharing with the public. Here's Bob.
Today we dive into the story behind Valentine's Day.
Love is in the air.
A holiday that's all about love, chocolate, and the annual challenge of finding a restaurant reservation. Where did this warm and fuzzy love fest originate? Was it the brainchild of greeting card companies to boost sales? Or does it have roots deeper than a box of assorted chocolates? Our guest will unravel the sweet and surprising story of Valentine's Day. Happy Valentine's Day to you and yours. Jim Price is on the air with us from Hallmark Cards. He's the manager of public information there, and it's time to talk to Jim about Valentine's Day. And this is, one of your biggest days, right, Jim?
Yeah, as a matter of fact, it's the second biggest day, really, for us, Bob, because Valentine cards usually, industry-wide, for all the card companies, usually we expect about 800 million cards to be exchanged. That's a long way off from Christmas, but it's still a lot of Valentine cards.
A lot of us look for something new and different in Valentine cards every year. Are we going to find it this year?
Oh, yeah, very definitely, because the traditional Valentine cards, there'll still be plenty of those, but a lot of the newer cards, there's a definite trend away from that. Simple floral designs, modern graphics, that sort of thing, and there's some new background colors, including a glossy black background, which is kind of reminiscent of Russian folk art, and that's really a substantial variation, even from last year when the trend was kind of toward the nostalgic look.
I heard there are some that are mildly risque.
Well, yeah, there's one or two of those. There always is. Some of the contemporary cards are always the what you might call close to risque. One of them says, "Valentine, thinking of you not only sets my soul aflame, it also occasionally melts the elastic in my underwear."
Okay. What did they do years ago before we had all the commercial type gifts, Jim?
Well, years ago, they made Valentine cards that cost $35, which seems like an awfully lot even by today's standards. But there was one woman, Esther Howland, up in Massachusetts back in the mid to late 1800s, and she made special Valentines, handmade a lot of them, and one or two of them cost $35. And back then, you can imagine how much money that was. In fact, one guy gave his girlfriend a Valentine, one of those Valentines that cost $35, and she dropped him because she figured he was a spendthrift.
Oh, man. You can't win.
No, well, some people can on Valentine's Day. Others are lucky.
How old are Valentines, and how did they get started?
Well, Valentine cards go back maybe almost as far as Christmas, not quite, but actually Valentine's Day is very old. It's probably older than Christmas as a celebrated holiday, because it's based on an ancient Roman festival, the Feast of Lupercalia, which came on February 14th, and there were a lot of customs and legends and so forth associated with that. But really, the first Valentine card, if you want to call it that, according to legend, was sent by a Saint Valentine who was in jail awaiting execution, like a lot of the saints seem to do, and he actually fell in love with a blind daughter of his jailer, and through his faith, he managed to restore her sight. And he sent her a farewell message just before he was executed, and he signed it, "From your Valentine." So, if you believe in legends, that was the first one.
Are you married, Jim?
Yes, I am.
What do you do for your wife on Valentine's Day?
I babysit.
Well, that's a nice gift.
That's about the best one I could think of, and besides, it doesn't cost much.
Bob Berry.
Thank you for listening to Bob Berry's Unearthed Interviews. Be sure to subscribe and rate our podcast wherever you find your podcasts. You can find all our episodes at WisconsinBroadcastersMuseum.org. Check out Bob Berry's book, Rock and Roll Radio Milwaukee. Book sale proceeds support Donate Life Wisconsin. Special thanks to Wisconsin Historical Society and for financial support from WBA Hall of Famer Terry Baum.